And welcome back to the Press Star Podcast. I'm your host Vic, aka Mr. Never Chillin', and this is episode number 54. And of course, I'm joined by my co-host Lunatic Oblivion.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
And this week, we're actually joined by a special guest, Marcus, aka Inferna.
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
What's up, man?
Uh,
Welcome to our podcast, man. So if you just want to say like who you are, what do you do for a living, games you enjoy playing, or even a fun fact.
I mean, name's Marcus Inferna, Mr. Bumpy Ride if you follow me on Instagram. uh, I'm a co-captain of the S2W Apex team. What I do for a living, I work IT at the Pentagon. And games I play, Apex, mostly fighters, Head West, Street Fighter, things of that nature. And fun fact, I know how to play violin.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
there you go.
Yeah.
How many years you play violin?
Since I was like 5, so
Still play it now?
I can, but violins are very expensive, so
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Well, Roger, we played we started Diablo 3 this week. Well, how was our first playthrough?
Honestly, it was rather well played. I thought it just played nicely. The game felt pretty good actually. I enjoyed it. Um, the biggest qualm I gotta say, going back to Diablo after playing Path of Exile for so many years, the game Diablo is very slow in comparison to things like Path of Exile. I feel more stagnant in my choices. I feel like gear is a little less fun to deal with sometimes.
Yeah.
But definitely I had a good time. I thought everyone played well. I thought, I was glad that everyone enjoyed it, and it was awesome to have a bunch of new people just come out and join our Twitch for a little bit and just talk to us.
No, yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun, and I've never played a Diablo game at all, so this has been a fun first
Oh
time
wow.
experience. Yeah, so it's been really fun. The whole top down thing, that's probably one of the one games that I struggled most to get immersed into because like I don't feel like I'm that character that I'm playing as. But it's definitely been fun. I like going like how we do our quests and stuff like that, and we come back to the city, re up, and then we go
Mhm.
back out. I think the only issues that we really dealt with was Bruno kept disconnecting or having issues with the game. I wasn't sure if that was the game
And
specifically or just his connection that he had.
yeah, and like I think what's
Thunderstorm.
also
That could
yeah,
explain it.
yeah, definitely. And I think what really sucks about the whole top down for you is the last top down game we played was The Ascent,
Yeah.
and like that was dumpsters. So like the whole genre is kind of flavored by one game so far for you, whereas like I've loved games like this. I used to play Gauntlet, I used to play fucking Path of Exile, I played Diablo 2 before, but
Yeah.
like Diablo 3, it felt good, but there was a lot missing at the time that I thought other games did better. Like, for example, Path of Exile always did things that Diablo tried to catch up to,
hmm
and they didn't know how to keep up, it felt like.
Right. Right.
But
But yeah, Diablo 3 has been really good, and actually one of my favorite parts of the game so far are the cutscenes. They look really good. Like they feel like they're done in like Unreal Engine 5 almost. They're really smooth. They were like to me, I'm like, oh shit, I feel like I'm watching a movie or a TV
yeah,
show, and I'm just like, I really like that about the cutscenes. But honestly, Blizzard has always done good with cutscenes with their games. Like even World of Warcraft cutscenes were always like, yo, this is dope. Like this is a really good. Looks like a movie. It's movie quality. So that's been a highlight so far of the game for me. But yeah, the gear is kind of weird because like we're rotating gear so quickly, and I'm like, I remember like when legendary gear in other games you didn't get until like towards the end game. Like you worked towards legendary gear. Now they're like,
yep,
here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, and then it's out leveled at like 2 seconds later. I'm like, well, fuck. Like we're already level 23, I think it is already, and I'm just like, what? Where's the balancing? And I feel like we're
yeah.
overpowered the entire time. Like there's not been a challenge, not once.
Like I feel like I can still 1v1 anything in a four-player game. Like it doesn't feel that difficult yet. I'm
hmm
excited to see the difficulty really skyrocket and change the gameplay. But I feel like as Bruno said in the game, Necromancer is a little overpowered. Like I'm
hmm
sitting there, I'm like corpse explosion. I drop a bunch of corpses and I just start using, fucking bone knives on people and they're instantly dying, so then they drop a corpse, so I bone knife the next person for free, and I just keep bone knifing down the list.
Yeah.
Like the boss, I took half of the boss's health. The last boss we fought, I took half his health with one combo.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
wow,
crazy. It's definitely crazy. But
that's great.
other than Diablo, Roger, what other games have you been playing in the past week or so?
Well, I ended up picking up a new visual novel. I've been playing some VNs recently.
Hmm.
Other than that, I did get a little bit of time in on um, Beat Saber actually. This week, my wife picked up an Oculus Quest 2 for herself
Hmm.
on last Friday, and we'll talk a little bit about that. We'll talk why later in a little bit here, but for those of you who don't know, the Oculus went up in price.
Yeah.
So she grabbed it before it went up in price by $100. So we've been playing Beat Saber.
Hmm.
We were gonna try some Phasmophobia. And then I went back to Stardew Valley this week as well because I've been kind of looking for that turn my brain off game.
Right. Right.
Turn my brain off, game.
Every once in a while, you need that kind of game where you just like, I want to play a game, but I don't want to have to like feel like I'm sweating
Yeah,
while trying to play the game. Like that, sometimes you just need that casual kind of game. And honestly, I've been trying to. I picked up Mass Effect 2 because you guys know I recently beat Mass Effect 1 for my first time, so I'm playing Mass Effect 2 for my first time as well. And it's a really beautiful game. It's really polished so far, and like it's like night and day difference between the first and the second game. I was like, holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I understand why this is arguably top 10, one of the greatest games of all time. Like, I see why already, and I'm early into that game. Um, but the other game that I'm picking up is the Artful Escape. I actually was streaming on my personal channel the other night, but I was having issues with my audio, so I'm gonna redo that game from the beginning. And it's a really quick game. It's like a 4 or 5 hour game, indie developed by Beethoven and Dinosaur. And it's kind of like a visual novel, but it's like a platformer as well. So I'm really excited to stream that, record it, and then I'll get it up to Shoot the Wind's YouTube channel for my playthrough and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, man, Roger, what's going on? Let's move on here though. Um, what's going on with the game releases this week? I know we don't got too much going on, but there's some good ones here.
So, what's really cool is the PC actually is getting quite a few games this week. They're really shining. I'm gonna actually jump ahead to the coolest release this week, to talk about why PC is winning. Marvel's Spider-Man was originally an exclusive for PlayStation. It is now on PC on the 12th, which is what,
Yeah.
Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So on Friday, you're going to be able to play the Spider-Man game on PC now. So like,
Yeah.
you don't need a PS5, you don't need a PS4 to play these games.
Right.
Sony has finally taken that jump where they're like, let's just go to the computer. Let's put our content there. We'll get more. Like it works for Microsoft. Why haven't they thought to do it
Right. And
until
actually,
now?
when a fun fact,
Microsoft makes computers.
Right.
That's why.
in fun fact though, Insomniac Games, the developer of Marvel Spider-Man, tweeted out, they were like a long time ago when the game first came out, like Marvel Spider-Mans will never come to PC, blah blah blah, and here we are. Now it's on PC.
Sony was like, sorry, bro, you don't get to make the choice.
Right.
Right. Right.
But next up, we've got 2 Point Campus, which is one of the 2 Point games. We've got 2 Point Hospital, 2 Point Campus. I believe there's a third game in there. These are those sort of old-fashioned roller coaster tycoon or park management, like SimCity style. You build and you let the revenue generate. Well, this is about building college campuses, but it's kind of a joke on the idea of building a college campus. So you're going to be building, like lecture halls that will teach people, silly courses instead of actual courses. Like in 2 Point Hospital, you had to cure people of clown disease. They came in as a clown and you had to remove it. So it's kind of that sort of joke parody on that simulation sort of game. Next, we've got Lost in Play. Lost in Play is sort of a side-scroller adventure game where two kids sort of get pulled into a world of fantasy. That is coming out for Switch and PC, which is quite interesting. Every console seems to be taking these exclusives and putting them, not exclusive per se, but it's on one console and PC. It's on one console and PC. So we're seeing that with Lost in Play coming out on August 10th. We've got Call to the Lamb and Rumbleverse coming out on August 11th. Cult of the Lamb is an interesting looking game by Revolver Studios or Devolver Studios. This is going to be you're playing the dark overlord of a satanic style cult. You're
Oh.
essentially a goat demon running a cult of followers. So it's funny because you go and save in the trailer he saves a pig and the pig comes with him and you're a goat demon or whatever, and you walk back to the village and the goat just sees or the pig sees somebody digging a hole and you're like, oh, he's just probably farming, and as you walk by they're tossing a dead body into the grave and you're like, oh, okay. So it's a
Sounds like
dark
my kind
sort
of game.
of it kind of reminds me of Don't Starve Together style gameplay.
Hmm.
So it's going to be that sort of isometric top down looking from an angle as opposed to northeast southwest. You're looking from northeast southeast southwest and northwest, so it's
Hmm.
sort of that skewed 45-degree.
Right, and this game is
It
actually one
looks
of the
pretty
most
cool.
most anticipated games in the gaming industry. They announced this a few years
Yeah,
back, and it's kind of just been like, man, when's this game coming out? Because we wanna get our hands on it.
and it looks so good. It looks so good. So I'm excited to try that this week. I might even actually crack and buy a game for the first time in a while. And then lastly, we've got Rumbleverse coming out on the 11th as well. This comes out on PlayStation 5, Xbox X and S, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. This is a game we saw last year, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And it's essentially just a giant battle royale, but it's a fighting game instead of a shooter or anything else like that. You're just running around beating the shit out of each other with punches.
Yeah, it seems pretty cool, especially with the success with Naraka Blade Point,
Hmm.
being a battle royale, melee only, no ranged weapons. It's definitely an interesting take on that genre for sure.
And and it definitely looks really cool because with the fighting that you're dealing with here, it's like I'm watching people suplex each other. I'm watching people just like you literally jump out of the sky and you're like superhero landing on the ground and then you're just like punching the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
It
it looks
it does
goofy.
actually look fun. It looks silly fun. I don't know how much I'll play it, but it
Might be one of those
hopefully it can
turn your
bring
brain off
something new.
games.
Yeah, turn your brain off
Say that
games.
again. Yeah, turn your brain off games exactly.
Yeah, but
So
Marcus,
those
Marcus,
are
do
the
any of these games stand out to you that you would want to check out at all?
Actually, good. I already have Marvel Spider-Man. Rumbleverse is actually looking like something I play, and just from the description of Code of the Lamb, but I might play that as well.
Yeah, definitely
Mhm.
Uh,
check it out.
and the other two, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lost in Play looks okay. 2 Point Campus is just sort of. I got bored of 2 Point Hospital after maybe 5 or 6 hours of gameplay.
Oh
It,
yeah, I'm not into the building. Like outside of something like Age of Empires, I'm not really into like the
mhm.
building simulation thing. So I'm just like, maybe not
It
that.
has to have a competitive element, I think,
Yes.
is what you're kind of looking for
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the only game that really sticks out to me is Cult of the Lamb, just because of the anticipation that's behind this kind of game, and being like more of an indie develop coming from Devolver Digital. I'm really looking forward to a game like that because they're just like what you call Annapurna, that just hits you with like solid games after each one. Every once in a while they release a hot garbage file, but I think this might be a gem this year.
No, definitely. So, Vic, let's go into the industry news. What's going on?
Man, there's a lot going on, honestly, in the industry. A lot of like, what the hell? We're gonna first start off here. The Arizona Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray just recently signed a new contract extension with them. But in the contract, it was they're going to limit his time to play video games. He's only allowed to play video games for a certain amount of time because he needs to study film more. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like you're really about to limit someone's like life outside of work. You know what I mean? So then they realized all the bad PR they were getting. They were like, all right, yeah, we're going to make the adjustment. We're not
We
going to limit
lost.
it. Yeah, this is not a good idea. We're not going to limit your video game time. Just
I
make
mean, I
sh-
get it though, from a certain standpoint. If you're the quarterback, it's you have to study
yeah,
game tape and stuff like that. So if his gaming is cutting into that, then I
Yeah,
understand
and
him putting it in his contract, but I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have put it in his contract. I can understand it, but I don't.
right.
yeah, And like what? How long is the contract for a year?
No, it's I forget how long his new contract is, like 4 or 5 plus years,
Yeah.
But
whatever it
So
is.
now we're dealing with 4 or 5 years. What if he starts really just playing games all the time and he just starts
yeah,
giving up on?
yeah,
So it gets to the point like I don't think you can limit his game time, but you just actually have to give him a 9 to 5 kind of schedule. Then you have to
seven
say, hey,
years. 7 years.
Jesus Christ,
yeah.
7 years.
He's gonna start playing games
Yeah.
and somewhere
Yeah,
around year 2.
Yeah.
He's
So
gonna get
so
bad at.
yeah. So his
yeah,
contract was 7 years, $265.5 million. So
I mean, at that
it's a
kind of
lot of
money.
money. Yeah. Like I get
Yeah,
it, but apparently like
yeah.
the
I'm playing
reason
video.
for it is because he actually doesn't really study tape. He kind of just goes out there and play, and like he's like, I don't need to study film. Like I'm good.
yeah.
He's very
Kind of
conceited as
real
a
Allen
player.
Iverson is right now.
All right, he practiced. You want to talk
Practice.
about practice? But moving on here, Call of Duty. Call of Duty is going to be in our topics a lot this week. But first off, here they got accused of plagiarism over their new dog skin that they were marketing for. So they had to remove all the marketing because of the lawsuit, and they're not releasing the skin anytime soon. But I guess like some creator claimed it as like a copy of what their artwork was. So they were like, yeah, you can't do that, and getting charged with plagiarism. So just another bad PR move for Activision Blizzard, just adding to the long
Yeah,
rap sheet here.
long, long list of
Long list of issues that we got
nonsense
going on.
they got going on there. Yeah.
But yeah. And then speaking about Microsoft Activision Blizzard, this one kind of blew my mind. But during, I think it was the UK's investigation into this, Sony said that Call of Duty is a massive franchise and it can't be competed with. And then Microsoft responds saying, I don't think Activision Blizzard has any games that are must-haves. And I was just like, really? Because Call of Duty is like the biggest game of all time, and like
Right.
World of Warcraft and Candy Crush, like all of these games are going to become could become exclusive to Xbox. So I see Sony's argument, and then Xbox is just trying to play it down like, oh, they don't got nothing, knowing that they
Yeah.
got a full
That,
hand here.
yeah, it's like, dude, I got 5 aces in my hand. There aren't 5 aces in the deck, but
I
clearly
got five
Blizzard
of
is playing with it, bro,
them.
dude. They're like, dude, our hands loaded. We win any play right now. And it's like, dude,
Especially,
you've got a
especially,
monopoly. And they're like, what's a monopoly,
especially with Call
guys?
of Duty. Like, there's no way in the
Yeah,
world. Like,
exactly. And it's just so much money.
I
at
mean,
that point, you're just monopolizing the game industry.
more or less, but there's like we already talked about it before. There's other companies that are bigger than Microsoft, even if this transaction goes through. So it's like, you're not really monopolizing. But I get it. But I mean, in the same sense, like there aren't any other
Everybody's gonna be.
there's not any other games that do compete with Call of Duty, honestly. And that not battle royale spectrum, but just like that 6v6 multiplayer. Like the closest might be Rainbow Six Siege, would be the only thing that really competes to it. I mean, look at Battlefield,
Yeah.
flop after flop after flop, and then there isn't any other game that competes with it. Like they go off and do their own thing, like Escape from Tarkov. That's something totally different. Like Rust, totally different. Like there's nothing that has that sandbox feel anymore. Like growing up when
Right.
Call of Duty first came out, you had Halo, you had Homefront, you had Battlefield, you had Medal of Honor. Like none of these games even exist
Hmm.
really anymore that can compete with it. So I see it, but we'll see how that goes. Speaking of Halo, ex Halo developer Bungie is reducing their communication with fans due to basically their employees being threatened by fans. And I'm just like, oh shit, like that, like
Like
leave
on
those
Twitter
people
or
any way possible. So if you're emailing them, you're calling them, you're tweeting them, the people are just being aggressive and showing all all those threats and whatnot. So I seen that, I was like, man, don't. Why do people got to be like that? Like, don't take it out on the developer because there was a game bug or whatever. Like that could be fixed. You don't got to give them death threats over it. It's just a video game.
I mean, it depends on how long those bugs are too, because that was the issue that Apex had with the Titanfall games. Like people legitimately hacked Apex because they wanted Titanfall fixed. I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
why?
Right, right,
Like, I just wanted to play Apex. Like now I can't play it because y'all are mad.
right, right.
Hmm.
Roger, what's
The
your take
system.
on this here?
I think it's quite fascinating because like it to me is just bullshit. I think it's honestly bullshit. Yeah, I get fans take it out on the companies, but like my wife works in a call center all day. She works, in a call center and people will call in and swear and curse and berate her and just
Mm-hmm.
she still has to do her fucking job. Like, I get it. People, the Americans are fucking terrible to begin with. Like, don't get me started. How
Most
terrible
definitely.
Americans are. Like, if something doesn't work, I'm gonna take it out on you, even though you're just a support tech. Like, at the end of the
Right.
day, I don't own the fucking company. I don't. You can yell at me all you want. I'm like,
And I
just
don't.
fucking hang up on them. Like, at
You
this
don't make
point,
the
just
decisions. You don't make the
don't give them a
decisions.
platform.
Yeah.
Ban them. You know, don't respond to them. You know, literally just stop answering.
Yeah, throw it in the trash.
They attack you verbally. Okay, support case is closed.
Right.
Sorry. You know, you can go one step further. Cancel it. Now they can't reopen it. You know, shit. I work with a ticket system. I built a ticket system at work where I work, and I just, if you don't want them to answer, you can stop them from answering.
And moving on here though to another government that I guess is not looking too hot right now.
Mhm.
In the Indonesian government has blocked access to online services due to their new licensing rules. That companies had a deadline that they had to, if they didn't make these changes, were no longer going to be accessible in Indonesia. And some of these include Fortnite, Epic Games, Steam, Yahoo, PayPal, Dota 2, and Counter Strike. I was just like, wow, like that's crazy that you're banning this because they didn't adapt to your rules or your laws. Like they gotta realize like it's not just one country that they have to abide by. Like they're in a it's a world game, so I don't know why you can put
But
these limitations on it.
like, the thing is, they have to register with a database and something like that. But like at the same time, if Indonesia has privacy rules or things like, it's like the
Sure.
same thing with the EU. Like, companies had to adapt because companies are taking advantage of people. That's the problem.
Hmm.
So if you want to sell your game and this company thinks they know what's right for you, don't get me wrong, because the same case could be used to justify shit going on in China.
Hmm.
But what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is, we don't have the full story, because the article was very superficial from what we read.
Right.
But essentially, it's just these companies have to comply and register with a database, and they have to do certain things with data. And it's like, hey, if that's what you require and you want to make the money, you have to put the investment in. And if you don't want to, oh well.
Right. And most of these ones here, they're like Indonesia. That's probably not a big loss to them in general. Like their overall stance. Like I don't know how big the gaming industry is in Indonesia, but I'm pretty sure it's not that
It's a
large.
lot of mobile game stuff.
Right. So, and a lot of these don't really deal with a lot of mobile gaming, like Fortnite. I mean, I guess it's kind of mobile,
Right,
but
the
most people
Epic
don't play
their
that.
Epic Games Store has a lot of mobile games on there, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 273 million people. So it's not a vast number of people, but it's still a lot.
Right.
Like, it's
yeah.
still a fraction of the United States population.
Right. So that's no big deal there. Something else here that kind of like had me scratching my head here was GameStop. GameStop can't do anything right, it seems, anymore, and they decided to hop into the NFT market, and
Well,
they were selling indie games
no,
without
no.
permission.
See, it wasn't their fault. It was
Right.
actually a content creator on the marketplace who started selling NFTs for games that had user license agreements. This guy didn't do his research, and he started selling NFTs for games that had like open license agreements that you still had to accept before you could play. And now he's selling the games as a playable object on an NFT store, and I'm like,
Yeah, and
You can't do that.
GameStop was clearly oblivious though,
what?
because they were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't see it. Like, are you not monitoring what goes on to your store? Like,
Yes, exactly. You can't
Right.
play fucking a dummy. You literally can't be oblivious to this. If you're gonna run a marketplace, it's like saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize they were selling AR-15s out of the back of my farmer's market. Oops."
Oh, there's no way in the world they ain't
What?
seen
Like,
about
you gotta
AR-15s
monitor
in the
that
back of the
shit,
market.
dude.
yeah, it's mind blowing. It's like the
It's
difference between
yeah,
like the Apple App Store versus like Google Play Store. Like Apple literally monitors every app, and there's no scamming apps. There's none of that like third party apps that are going to be fraudulent and stuff like that. Where Google Play is kind of like an open source thing where like anybody can put whatever app they want on that Play Store, and that's that. And because they don't really monitor the same way, and
I
that's
see.
kind of in the same instance here.
and it needs, and it's a problem. That's
Yeah.
the thing. There should be more vetting sometimes, and
Yeah.
there wasn't. So it honestly, it should be on GameStop and the actual user. So GameStop should punish the user, as well as they need to pay the repercussions as well, because they need to pay back whatever shares of money he made selling stuff illegally.
Right. Moving on though, TikTok. Interesting enough, I guess they're trying to get into the gaming market and they're pilot testing mini games on their app. So I don't know exactly how it works. Maybe you scroll through, you play a game, or you scroll through, you play a different game. Like I don't know how this is going to really work, but
I
I guess
don't
they want
either.
to get into it. I'm thinking about mini clip. Are we bringing
Yeah,
mini clip back? But
let
it's going
me
to be on
clip
TikTok. We're going to be playing mini golf. We're going to be playing Aqua Energizer. We're going to be playing Heli Attack
a
3.
pool or something.
might
Eight
might
ball
might
pool.
it might even bring back Club Penguin, or like
Yeah.
Neopets. But yeah.
Neo fucking pets, bro.
So it'll be interesting to see how TikTok handles this and see what they can come up with. It'll be pretty cool. Another company here that's kind of like, what's going on? Like, I don't even know what if they know what they're doing. Meta is testing a phase of a new live streaming platform called Super, and it's similar to Twitch. But my biggest concern, I was like, maybe they're migrating away from Facebook gaming,
It
or
makes
just
sense
making
because
it.
Facebook gaming is fraudulent as hell.
Oh yeah, why is that?
Yes, it's what they do with their creators, at least that I've been paying attention to, because I have a homegirl of mine. She streams on Facebook gaming, and it's a consistent like non-payment issue with her,
Hmm.
and it'll take her forever to get paid, and she's putting in the work, so she's just not been streaming on there. So
Right.
and that's a consistent issue, I guess, with a lot of people. Like they're just not paying their content creators.
And I think the other thing that's going on here is what they're probably trying to rebrand and compete with Twitch in one fell swoop. So Facebook is trying to get rid of the name Facebook really and just make that a singular platform because they don't want Facebook to be the entirety of your online persona. So they
Hmm.
want it to be meta so that they can, steal your identity, become you, build cyborg robots of you and whatever,
The
But
Matrix.
yeah. Where meta is the future of the Matrix, so we're gonna have stuff coming back here to stop the robot invasion, and also whether or not he's an alien, that's a different story. But Meta needs to rebrand Facebook gaming because they want to get away from it being Facebook gaming most likely
Yeah.
because they want it to be meta gaming. Because even like for example, on the Oculus, when you set up the Oculus Quest, they're like, hey, set it up with your Meta account, and it's like,
Hmm.
ooh.
Uh oh. To round out our industry news this week, we did get a trailer for Cyberpunk Edge Runner. It's a new anime that's coming out. Roger, I know that this one kind of excited you because of who it's being made by too. What's your thoughts on the trailer?
Yeah, so Cyberpunk Edge Runner is going to be a new animated series based on the Cyberpunk 2077 game and tabletop. It is going to be made by Studio Trigger, which is one of the biggest names in like movie quality anime right now. They've made things like most recently was uh shoot. I just forgot the newest movie that came out from Studio Trigger. But they're essentially the new Studio Ghibli, if you will. They've really been taking everything by storm lately. They've made things like Kill a Kill, Darling in the Franxx. They've made Little Witch Academia. They've made BNA. They've made some of these really high quality shows that are really artistic. The sound design is great. Honestly, they even made a Star Wars anime as well, actually, which did
Really?
okay. Yeah, it's called
Hmm.
Star Wars Visions.
Visions. Yep. They're actually.
It was a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. They
It's on
just.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah, they just greenlit
Okay.
a season 2 as well. And interesting enough, like each episode, like never had they're not connected in any way. Like, but they're made by different studios that Trigger kind of
Also,
helped.
like short
Trigger helped.
stories in
Yeah.
animated form, pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I watched the first like 2 episodes, and I plan to finish it out. But it's
I'm gonna have
definitely
to
pretty
check
cool.
that out.
But that's all the news we got in the industry. Roger, what's going on in the gaming world now? The actual gaming news. We got lot going on
So
here.
we got quite a bit here. So we're gonna start real quick, a little bit of a rapid fire. Lord of the Rings Golem is delayed a few months for polishing. So nothing major there. Good to see. If the game isn't ready, let's make it ready
Right.
because we want a good game because Lord of the Rings has kind of been falling short. There's some of the games are great, some of the games are not really good.
Crash.
Next, we've got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the remake that came out. They've delayed indefinitely any development on the game. They're like, hey, bugs, problems. We're done. We're walking away. They quit. The
Yeah.
developer has quit. They're done working on the game.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So now, like the game-breaking bug for the Switch, if it still won't work,
Oh no.
yeah.
This is way different than that one.
Oh yeah. Sorry. No,
This is
yeah,
Knights of the Old Republic #1 being
number
remade
one. Yes,
for the PlayStation 5. This is a brand
that's
new
right.
game from the ground up, and the developer wasn't making the progress that the company wanted. So they
Yeah,
were like, "Hey, we need to rethink
we're
this
pulling the
process."
plug.
They're not pulling the plug. It's just like they need to rework some things.
They want to step. They want to step back and look at it
Right,
different.
right. They need to move some people around, maybe bring in some new people, some leadership and
Or
whatnot
get
to
a
make
new,
this.
or
Yeah,
get a new studio to do it because it's done
right.
for now.
But you're
It's
you're talking about Knights of the Old Republic
yeah,
2 that they brought to the
two.
Switch,
Yes,
and that had that game breaking bug that I don't even know if they ever fixed, to
and
be honest yet.
no, and they also are done working on that as well. So
Yeah,
it looks like Knights of the Old Republic is not really getting the treatment it deserves
yeah,
in
No,
either of the
not
games.
in the
yeah.
slightest.
What a classic, but a classic is a classic. Leave it in the past at this point if it's going to
Yep.
cause these kind of issues. What else,
Next
Raj?
up, we've got Warhammer 40k Darktide. This is also being delayed. This is now delayed until the 30th of November. It is going to come out on PC on that day, and then a few days later for Xbox. It will also have a new open beta or closed beta that you can sign up for. So go ahead, check it out. Make sure you sign up if you want to play it early. Otherwise, jump in day one.
Yes, sir.
Next up, we've got Jetpack Joyride, which is a game that has existed, before on mobile style platforms, and it's just a smaller sort of game. The second one, the sequel to it, is actually coming to Apple Arcade exclusively. So this is Apple's way of kind of getting their own unique exclusives, I guess, to really compete in the mobile game market. Next up, we've got a brand new studio coming together to make a brand new game, Behavior Interactive. The creators of Dead by Daylight are going to be making a game called Meet Your Maker. It's a first-person building and raiding game. So it's sort of like Minecraft meets Doom. So it's like Doom in the sense of graphics, playing, how gory and visceral it is. But it's kind of like a sandbox game at the same time. It's coming out next year in 2023.
I might have to check
Yeah,
that out.
yeah. That one.
Yeah, no,
when that news
like
came out, I was like, "Yo, that sounds good." Like
it,
Doom was
and
really
it,
good, and then
and there
Minecraft
was
is a
some
legend.
actually good stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had a video, I believe, didn't we?
I think so. It was like a
I
quick teaser.
believe, yeah, there was a quick teaser for Meet Your Maker, and it looked pretty legit, actually.
Yeah, official
Uh,
trailer
Like
4 days
it,
ago.
it looks like Minecraft meets Doom, and it's visceral, bloody, gory, and it's
Or
sort of like it's like cyberpunk samurais too, or like post-apocalyptic samurais. It kind of reminds me of that sort of feel of like Stray, for example, with some of the aesthetics there.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Next
I'm
up,
excited for that one.
yeah, no, I am too. Next up, we've got Back for Blood. Back for Blood is having its new DLC. We announced it previously, but it is now getting a release date. It is going to be the 30th of, is it this month or next month? This month, I
Yeah, it should
believe,
be
right?
Yeah, it should be this
Yes.
month.
The 30th of this month, we're getting a new playable cleaner, Prophet Dan. We're going to be fighting with new weapon, accessories, and cards. We're also going to get new enemy threats and exclusive skins, as well as the Act 5 edition. So now the game has a direct continuation from Act 4, where you beat the boss, you beat the giant worm monster, you get out. Now you've got to fight the Children of the Worm, which is a cult that worships these zombies.
Children of the Worm.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a
Okay.
scary
Yep.
movie.
Yeah, Children of the Corn. That's I know.
Yeah. Next up, we'll loop back around to a game Victor loves, The Ascent.
It's
We've
my
got a new
favorite.
DLC coming, Cyber Heist. It's coming out the 18th of this month. It's a new story DLC, so it's not just like garbage. It's actually, yeah, cult, right? It's always gotta be a cult game. Cyber Heist is going to be a story DLC based on or based after the main game ends. So it's a direct continuation. It's going to add new locations, weapons, and now you're going to be able to do melee combat as well, which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty tough. Next, we've got Call of Duty. We've got a few things coming from the Call of Duty world. First, we've got COD Mobile is teaming up with Netflix and the series of Ghost in the Shell to create new skins and locales in the BR map. So in the battle royale map, which
Ghost
is
in the
pretty
Shell.
cool.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
that's,
cool.
Yeah,
man.
And that's exclusive to COD Mobile. It's not like regular Warzone or
Oh,
anything.
see.
exactly. It's
Right.
just COD Mobile.
It's crazy. Like COD Mobile is getting so much content and skins and new
It
maps
makes
and
more money. We've
yeah.
already talked about it. COD Mobile is the only thing that matters to them anymore. They're like Infinity Ward, you can do whatever you want. If you succeed, cool. If you don't, we're still gonna rake it in because of COD fanboys.
Yep. But what else is going on in the COD universe?
So Call of Duty next event has been slated for September 15th. It will give us what we've watched at not E3, Games Fest this year,
Hmm.
the Summer Games Fest. We got to see the beginning of what the new Call of Duty sort of the future of Call of Duty is going to look like. They talked about how we're going to get some big announcements coming soon. With Call of Duty next, we're going to see what the immediate future of Call of Duty will look like, what Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty Warzone, and the mobile version of Call of Duty Warzone will look like. So we're going to get to see some new stuff, a lot of cool new things, and we'll get to see Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer revealed, like the full reveal for the game,
I'm excited.
as well as a multitude of our favorite streamers at the event who play Call of Duty, playing the actual game itself live and not just giving us a replay or a pre-recorded video.
Right.
And then there's also going to be some information that we don't even know about that they haven't said anything, just
Hmm.
redacted information and surprises.
My guess is that they're going to probably tease us with the DMZ mode, the whole Escape from Tarkov mode that they have in the works. It's already been leaked.
hmm
We've already seen images of the loading screen, so I'm pretty sure that that's going to be the other information that they come up with.
And for those of you who like to get in early, the beta, we've got the dates announced for it. We've got PlayStation get an exclusive early access beta starting on the 16th of next month, and it will go from 9/16 to 9/20. And then we've got all platforms, including PlayStation, getting the beta continued from 9/22 to 9/26.
So,
So
a little
if
over
you
a
want to
month.
play it early, coming next month.
Yes, sir. I'll be
All
playing it
right.
for sure.
And throwing one over to you here, Apex Legends, a new legend is coming out, Mara the Sniper. So, do you know anything about her? You want to enlighten us a little bit?
Mara, she's like you said, she's a sniper legend. She has impressive. I, just from the gameplay trailer, I'm just like she does a lot. She's very mobile for a sniper,
Hmm.
as
hmm
opposed to. I mean, the whole game, everybody's mobile, but more mobile than you need to be in a sniper.
Yeah, because
Uh,
typically you would assume a sniper would just be sitting there watching for people to third party a fight, with little
right.
to no effort.
No, but with her tactical echo relocation, like she'll throw the bat out and she could like jetpack towards the where the bat is for a better vantage point. And I'm just
That's pretty cool.
and spotter's lens, I think, is when you aim down sight, you can see how much shield whoever you're looking at has, how much health, and it displays it to the whole team.
Oh,
But
that's
That's
really
really cool.
fucking cool.
yeah. As for a tactical, I think it's called Sniper's Mark. The tactical, I believe,
The tactical
is
was the echo relocation.
not
The
tactical. I'm
ultimate is
sorry, the
sniper.
Ultimate,
ultimate.
yeah.
The ultimate, I think, and I'm just guesstimating just from what I saw in the video. I think it's just she pulls a sniper out and shoots you. I don't know if you're marked or. It looks
That's
very
pretty cool.
simple, so I'm just like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, she sounds pretty interesting because like I've honestly played very little bit of Apex, but just like I know mobility is king. That's
Yes,
that's
very
the
much.
whole
Oh,
game.
yeah. So
And
so
like
they
for somebody like a kit that's typically going to be slower, somebody who's going to be the outside of the zone trying to move with the line so that they're not in the middle of a fight because their kit would most likely benefit them to snipe. It's
Yeah,
cool to see that he's just like flashing all around the map.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
This is officially from Apex's website. Spotter's lens is aim down sights to scout with your eyepiece unarmed or with mid to long range scopes. Use a bullet drop indicator to see where your shots will land. and then sniper.
Oh,
Whoa, hold
Yeah.
on.
And sniper's mark is use your custom sniper rifle to mark enemy targets and apply a damage bonus for you and your team. So that's going to be really useful. Yeah, that's
Oh
going to be
man,
she's going to be a meta.
that's
She's going to be a meta
that's
character.
gonna suck. I can see it right now. That's gonna suck.
Yeah, so that'll be pretty cool to see
That'll be
her
fun.
impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm really looking forward to that. And
so that
also,
drops what, next week?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll stream it.
Yeah, I'm getting the release date here. But Roger, if you want to say the other news that's going on with Apex.
and then Apex is going to be returning to Kings Canyon. So I assume this is one of the maps that people liked.
It's the original map for
The original map.
Yep.
That's
and
pretty cool.
they're rebuilding Skull Town, so that's back.
Thank goodness.
And there's certain sight lines they've changed, and I would have to look through the patch notes again and see what all else they changed. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I'm good for returning to Kings Canyon. It's one of my favorite maps.
Yep. So season
Yeah.
14 launches on April 9th or August 9th. Sorry, just here in a couple of days. So this Tuesday. This
Oh,
week,
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. You can start season 14 with Mara and Kings Canyon's return.
Okay. And next up in esports, Valorant. There's a new agent being teased. The new agent is going to be of Indian descent, so India, not Native American. Interesting. We'll see what happens. Because what are we going to be seeing? What kind of gameplay are we getting? Because our last one, we've got ourselves another initiator. Where do we go from here? Well, Indians are from India, but there are a lot of Americans who are
Indians.
unknowledgeable on the subject, or they don't care, or they use the incorrect terms. I know I still call Indians, like Native Americans, Indians, which is not correct, but it's not
No.
inaccurate.
That all comes from the
Culture.
Christopher Columbus. Yeah, Christopher Columbus is supposed to be he's supposed to be going to India. He landed here.
Indians are undercover Asians.
That's terrible.
Next up, we also have some news out of esports in Valorant. Riot is on the hunt. 2 pros were actually banned for 3 months and 9 months for teabagging, and then their comments in relation to teabagging. So there was a post there was an incident where people were teabagging in an all trans esports team. They had started teabagging them, and then I think they got into a fight on Twitter, and then Riot was like, hey, we're gonna have to shut this down. This is bad for the community, and it's bad for people, and it's just not politically correct anymore. So these pros who were defending people teabagging, I believe it was, are now also banned.
Yeah.
I mean,
Crazy news.
can trans people teabag people? Like, I'm just.
Well, I mean, anyone can teabag people. People may call it something else. I believe our friend Nightmare Gore has a much more colorful term that he uses. But yeah, it's honestly just teabagging's teabagging, man. Like,
teabagging's been around since online
Tacos
gaming has been a
happen.
thing. Like, I don't understand why it's an issue now. But
fucking chat. Hey, I'm gonna let him say it, and then I'm gonna walk back over here and just I'm just gonna look away from chat for a minute and let him say it. I'm not gonna get in trouble live on stream, my man. So I just honestly, if people find it offensive, it's one of those things. It's like, I'm not actively using hate speech and stuff like that. Like, I'm not looking. All it is it's been here since Halo, and it's not like it's doing anything wrong.
Right.
You
just get good at the game, and you won't have to get teabagged.
Like, I feel bad.
Get good, bro.
What is the true issue with teabagging something? Like, I've done it in WoW. I've done it in, Minecraft. I've done it in fucking Halo. I've done it in Call of Duty. I've been teabagged in more games than I've teabagged people in.
Right.
Hell, everyone,
all the time.
everyone look. Yeah, Yeah, Roblox even doesn't, and those kids are like 7. So like, hell, if 7-year-olds are teabagging, like it just more or less isn't really a sexual act. We don't treat it as a sexual act, but it's just
Right.
a gaming thing that
And
happens.
speaking of
Next
Roblox,
up,
what's going on in the Roblox world?
Roblox. Roblox had an interesting event happen here. They did not pay the creator of the oof sound from Roblox. So the sound had to be removed due to licensing issues because they didn't pay royalties to the guy that created an oof sound in Roblox.
Yeah, now it's
So
like
it's gone.
you gotta hear the new sound. Go look it up. I'm not gonna play it on stream. Just go look it up. And I was just like, my girl said it sounds like the noise that you make after you finish.
Yo,
That's all I'm gonna say here.
uh,
Not
that's
gonna see it
all
wild.
right,
on
wait,
stream.
give me 2 seconds here. Let's hear the new oof sound. Let's hear this. What does the new oof sound like?
So it's a
Oh
long
man.
scream. So I did say all that. If that is that the sound that you make when you're finished, then yeah. But yeah.
Oh man, that is. Oh man. What the fuck?
Yeah, I was cracking up when I first heard it. I was like, oh
Oh
I'm glad
god.
I don't play Roblox, so there's no way.
no.
Yes. Oh my god, fucking chat. He
I
usually cry after he comes.
I orgasm with anger. Yo, chat,
Chat,
y'all crazy
bros.
today. Y'all crazy today.
Oh fuck, dude. All
Oh,
right, moving on here to
yeah.
Fortnite for a minute. Fortnite has a new invisible character, I guess. Like
Because you
it's
can't see
broken,
him.
dude. There's literally a broken character in Fortnite now, so you can play as somebody with an invisible skin now. They've added John Cena, and like I can't see anything. That came out on July 28th. The new skin. It's pay to win, I guess. So go out and enjoy it,
You're
guys.
playing for nothing. There you
Yeah.
go.
Next up, we've got Multiverses. Season 1 drops with the Battle Pass revealed, but delayed until an unspecified date. So Multiverses is going to be getting a rotating battle pass where you can get stuff in the game, which is pretty cool. I think
Right.
this game, I'm honestly excited to see where it plays out in the competitive fighting scene.
Right, especially because Smash not going to get any more updates going forward. This could be the
Yep.
next big fighting game, and then with the back catalog that WB can pull from to add new characters and
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
because they're adding Rick from Rick and Morty next. Like that's their next
I mean,
character that's
I'm
going to
waiting for
release with
Neo
season
from the
one.
Matrix
So
to be in there.
yeah, like exactly, like they have so many characters to pull from. Like that game could have unlimited content, more battle passes and skins, and they're set. They're set for a while. What's up,
Yeah.
Laser? Thanks for coming through, bro. What else is going on in the game world, Roger? Because this one was kind of just on par with the oof sound.
Yeah, so Sims 4 in a new patch accidentally added incest and accelerated aging. So both were
That's a
fixed
good-
slash removed from the game. I guess they didn't like the Alabama patch for Sims.
How do you accidentally add incest into the game?
Yeah, when I
Yeah,
saw
moist enough fixed.
Fixed.
I mean, like if you
You gotta
wanted to
get
play
that.
your own fantasy, you can't now in the South. So sorry.
uninstalled.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael, you can't have that.
If anyone's a nightmare gore.
Holy shit,
Next
dude.
up, we've got the Google Stadia news. App being added to Samsung Gaming Hub like Xbox. So now on the gaming TV for Samsung, you'll be able to access your Google Stadia, which is pretty cool if Google Stadia actually succeeded.
Right. If it's good. If it's
Yeah,
good.
like I'll play, I guess, my all of 30 games in the catalog that will never expand. I'll go play them for a few minutes, I guess. But
Wait,
next
they
up,
have games? Yeah.
huh? No, what's up?
So they have games, but I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, if you want to call them games, I guess.
You could tell
Next
that
up.
they're trying to get games like they almost landed like the Quarry and I forget the other
Mhm.
game as exclusives to Google Stadia. So like Google is still trying to get those exclusive games that makes their platform appealing, but
okay.
it's gonna be a long time coming. I don't.
Oh,
see
yeah.
it
Like
anytime
they don't really have anything that has been big lately. They've had some, just different little smaller
Like
games that
indie games and stuff.
Uh, yeah, I guess. Like they've had Five Nights at Freddy's. They've got a few like I don't think they have really any big names like big games that people would want to play. Like they have Worms. Outriders did make it on there.
Yeah, I agree with Laser
My
there.
Little Pony, out there for Nightmare Gore, your game hit. They have things like older games like Far Cry Primal, some interesting games like Golf with Your Friends. They have some stuff, but like it feels like a very weird catalog. It's not like your big name games. There are a lot of kids
Okay.
games though too, which is interesting because like they've have a lot of these like 5-year-old kid TV show games. So like
Yeah.
maybe you could use it really to
Entertain the
give
children.
the kid here's your controller, kid. Have at it, son.
Don't touch my
Daughter.
PlayStation.
And to check out chat here, Laser said any game that goes exclusive with Stadia will be exclusively flop. So yeah, I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And Bruno's favorite game, yes, is Hello Kitty. That is definitely your shit.
Oh, Hello Kitty is my shit. Sanrio every day.
I'm not messing with that.
Oh man.
Next up, we got EA.
Yeah,
EA reacquires rights to Juventus for FIFA 23. Vivek, do you want to enlighten me what that means?
yeah. So there was a team, Juventus's team, had exclusive rights that were owned by Konami's PES turned eFootball since 2019, and now they finally got them back on board in FIFA 23, which is cool because it was weird to see all of the teams in that same league except for Juventus. Like that's the only one that was missing. So it'll be pretty cool to see it being added back to FIFA 23 going forward. After that, I'm not sure because they're not going to be called FIFA no more. So I wonder if they have to like adjust the rights or whatever it is based off of the new title next year.
No, that's an interesting thought. And I'm interested to see what happens in the world of football, because like it just FIFA's like not really doing much. It's the same game every year. They're kind of struggling to do they want to be affiliated with FIFA, but then we have these other games and they flop. So is there really even going to be a good soccer game or football soccer game
I
anymore?
mean, I mean, arguably FIFA is one of the greatest sports games out there. It's up there with MLB The Show. Like FIFA is
Yeah.
is better than Madden, and half the time I think it's better than 2K by far. So it's
Hmm.
like but there's not really any competition other than Konami's eFootball, which
Exactly.
just went free to play. So that could drive like competition because now that eFootball is free, but FIFA's still that premium $60-$70 game that you have to buy. So there's that. So we'll see how that going forward
Yeah.
will be affected.
And then next up, we've got 2K. They turned on online servers for Evolve as a popular game, as the genre spikes. That sort of monster versus players, where it's a 1v4, 1v5 style game mode. That's interesting because this is an older game.
Right. It was like one of the first games to do that, to enter that kind of genre that became like a big game. And I think that game came out in what, like 2014. So I mean, it's almost 10 years old at this
Oh, it's
point.
tough.
And Evolve was pretty cool. I actually still have it right over here actually as we speak. I,
Honestly, I played Evolve when it first came out on PC. Like I was playing it on Steam, and it was interesting, but I just really couldn't get a group to play because everyone was like, finger up my ass. Don't know what I'm doing. Just gonna sit here and spin. It's like, come on, guys. We can't win if we don't work together. And people are like, fuck you, bud.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You definitely have to play with a group of people that you enjoy playing with, as opposed to
Yeah,
Right. As opposed to just matchmaking with some randos. That's not a game to play
yeah.
with randos with.
definitely. Next up, let's talk about Meta and Oculus. So I talked about it earlier on stream. Oculus Quest 2 went up by $100. So the price tag went from $399 to $499, or was it $299 to $399?
What's that?
But the Oculus, was it $399 or $299? I can't win. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Let's double check. I just know when up. It's 399 right now.
Yeah. So it went up from $299 to $399. So it went from $300 to $400. And they made no improvements, no changes. It's the same device. It's literally, if you had bought it last week, you got the same device for $100 less. They literally just $100 on the price tag.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose behind this. Like now, less people are going to be enticed to get into the VR market
VR.
because now it's
Yeah.
more expensive than what it was. Like now the entry price is going up, and you didn't do anything
Right.
to
And
make it
honestly, their price point was so beautiful before. $2.99, if they were making any money on it, it makes sense. But I think they weren't. That's the problem. I don't think they were making much
They want
money.
to make their money back.
But the thing is,
And the issue is they
comp-
were expecting the metaverse to actually make the money back,
right, and it
and
wasn't.
we know that's a flop.
Right.
Yeah.
But the issue is like at hand is like they gotta realize like they're not gonna make a ton of money from the system. It's what you're putting on the system that you're gonna make the money. Like PlayStation,
Right.
the PS5 and the Xbox, they actually take a hit every console that they sell. So they're never gonna make money from console sales. Like they're gonna make money from the
Yeah.
software that they put on those games and the subscriptions that they got going on. So Oculus, come out with like a fucking Game Pass for your thing, and you might make a lot of money. Not hike
You'd
up the
make so
price.
much money.
Yeah.
And like the thing that they're really failing on right now is they expect the Oculus store to be super powerful and super just money making, just a giant revenue engine, and it isn't. That's the thing. It's not. What's happening is people are going to Steam, for example. Jordan, for example, bought the Quest, and then we bought Beat Saber on Steam, and we're like, fuck playing anything on the Quest. We're just using it for our eyes. That's it.
Right.
I'm literally only using it as a controller for the PC. The game's getting rendered and loaded on the fucking PC instead.
It only makes sense.
Yeah, it's just why do it any other way? It's just there's so much better things to do, and you can turn on the developer mode, and you can do hundreds of free games. So like, the problem at hand is they did it right, but they're not gonna make the money back unless they have a better like their store can't compete.
Yeah.
Their store is so much more expensive than Steam,
Yeah. Marcus,
and I can't play with my friends.
Marcus, do you play any VR or own a headset at all yet?
Nope.
Do you plan?
Wasn't planning on it.
Wasn't planning.
Wasn't planning.
And now
Nope.
now this
Yeah,
doesn't.
glasses. So.
Yeah, and with the price hike, this definitely doesn't make you.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing it now.
Yeah, like I love the Oculus. I swear by the Quest, but the problem is it's just now it's so much more expensive. That's literally a third of the price tacked back onto it. So like that's insane. That's so much money.
Yeah, and the fact that like the PSVR 2 comes out soon, hopefully, and that one's going to be priced at $399. So maybe they wanted to get into more of a the same price. I guess like I don't see the why
You would think that they would try to stay competitive by
right,
keeping it
$2.99
$2.99.
less. So yeah, $2.99 or $3.99 for the PSVR 2. Like I'm gonna go with the cheaper one.
Right.
Oh man, it's definitely a head scratcher there. But Roger, what's going on in the Nier Automata world?
So the Nier series is a game we kind of talked about here and there. It's actually one of the JRPGs that you first got into when I had challenged you to play through it.
Yeah.
We played Nier Replicant, and so Nier Automata was the game that, not a prequel to it or the game before it, but it was the game they made before it. So it doesn't have a direct relation to it in the timeline typically. But what happened was videos started surfacing of a copy of Nier Automata that had like this secret room in this area that nobody knew about. And this one guy's like, look what I found. And he found this cathedral, and it had like all these lore objects that could be from any one of the Nier games, like Drakengard or Replicant, and all these different things. And people were like, what the fuck is this? What is this? What is this? And they're like, no way, you couldn't mod this. What they're doing here isn't something that could come from a mod. What the fuck? What is actually happening? Turns out a community just released an entire new mod kit for the Nier Automata game that allows you to pretty much just build up the game from the ground up as a whole new game. So it literally is they've made a mod kit that is literally the engine level. So you can just make whatever fucking shit you want in Nier Automata now.
That's interesting.
Wow.
I mean that's pretty big though. Like now is just modding games, whether it's Resident Evil or Skyrim, where they just add Thomas the Tank Engine to every game possible. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Thomas ends up in Nier here soon.
Like, and the whole modding community is like, no way, this is a mod because we can't do this. The current modding level does not support this. And all of a sudden they're like, yeah, no, it's our new mod kit. Here you go.
Yeah, that's incredible.
No, it was pretty awesome to see. Next up, we've got something called Dark Passenger from A Studio.
No,
It's a new studio.
it's a new
Or
studio.
sorry, yeah. So Dark Passenger is a studio. It's a new studio that has been announced from talent from CD Projekt Red, who quit. The team is working for 2 years on pre-production of a new IP baked in feudal Japan. So it's a new IP that'll be based around just feudal Japan, which pretty
Uh,
cool. Like
Warren
I
State's Heritage
honestly
Plan.
like if we're looking at developers of like Cyberpunk
Yeah, Witcher
and
3.
The Witcher
Yeah. This could turn
making
out
a
to, yeah.
game in feudal Japan,
Yeah.
this could be one of the most beautiful fucking games around and also play really fucking well.
I don't
I'm
know.
only
Cyberpunk.
what's up?
Cyberpunk didn't play too well when it first came out, so
But
It played
that's,
well for me,
yeah,
but then it really depended on the system you were on too.
right. But for most people, it played great if you had next gen or a PC that could run it. But if you were playing on the PS4 or Xbox One, the OG one, yeah, it was gonna play like shit. It was a next gen game put on last gen, but it couldn't handle it. That was a problem. So it got bad PR, bad issues. Cyberpunk was overall a great game. I already reviewed it and I gave it I think an 8 out of 10. So definitely go check it out if you haven't.
yeah. But all right,
It's definitely not Witcher 3 level, but it definitely had its issues. It's not a perfect game, and it's having a pretty solid redemption, especially with the new content coming out here soon too. We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Next up, we've got a new company opening up called NFT Worlds. They decided to create Minecraft clone in spite of Mojang banning any and all NFT integrations to Minecraft.
They were like, "Well, fuck it. We can't add them into your game. We're just gonna create the game and add it to it." Like, all right.
Right.
I
NFTs,
hope it
man.
flops.
Yeah, I hope it
I
flops.
hope they run out of fucking money. I honestly, NFTs are the biggest fucking scam in the world. It's
It's almost as bad
it,
as the pyramid scheme.
like honestly, it's like women selling their underwear. It's just like, oh, these dirty people who are like, I can make money off this. Like
Yeah.
people will fart in a jar and sell it because somebody will buy it.
I mean, feet pictures go for a lot of money online.
So do bathwater. For some reason, people were selling bathwater when I was in college, and I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
Yeah. It's
Come on,
definitely some
So
weird shit out there.
people will buy anything just because they want to.
it's the anime bathwater they was selling out here.
Next up, we've got news, a bunch of news from Xbox. So let's talk about the Xbox news here. First, Minecraft. There is a new SpongeBob DLC coming out. It's already available, actually. It is based in Bikini Bottom. You can kind of explore Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, it's pretty cool all the different like content that they've added to Minecraft. So that's pretty awesome to see their marketplace just keep growing.
Yeah.
Next up, Halo Infinite. The co-op will not support online matchmaking. You can only join people who you are friends with and that you invite to your lobby. Also, the game supports very, very limited range for the co-op still, so you can't really get away from each other to do anything.
Oh, that's
But
wild.
in better news, we've got Forge. There's a PT demo that has been recreated. COD Zombies has been recreated, mystery box and all. We're talking like they have they have literally built an entire development engine for the users to use. So
Yeah.
this is what we've seen for years in computer gaming, is these like full on, here's our engine, build something in it. We're finally getting that from a Halo Forge game. It's
Yeah.
got triggers, events. You can do all these crazy
You,
things.
you can script everything. Like they were scripting like guns where it's like whenever you shot a bullet, it would just explode into like different assets from inside the game, and then like if you like shot it again, it would suck everything back up into a bullet. It's pretty crazy what you can do in this game. But when I saw the trailer where they recreated Call of Duty Zombies and the mystery box, like they opened it, they even played the music, and then like it had the little fucking teddy bear too. I was like, I'm sold. I'm sold. Like
You sold, yeah.
how many
Yeah,
how
so-
many times in Halo 3 did we try to recreate a Call of Duty zombie map in Halo 3? Now I can do it and actually have all of the assets that I need in the game. I'm sold.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we're getting a full-on engine to just build whatever the fuck you want, which is excellent. Next up, the Series S and X will have a boot time increase. So, or like the reduction, I mean. The speed is faster. So, which is cool. It's only like, what, a few
It's like
seconds?
5 seconds, but I mean, it already boots up phenomenally quick, and now to shave off an
But to
additional
take
5 seconds,
5 seconds? Yeah.
I might not even see the loading screen. It's gonna be bloop, bloop. Like now I don't ever see it because I have like the power saver mode on. So like as soon as I turn it on, it goes right to my home screen. It doesn't fully boot up because it's always technically on.
Yeah. And to see this new difference, you have to turn on the energy saver because
Yeah,
if you don't, it's in hibernation, so it's just like on.
yeah,
It's running all
That's
the time.
basically what Victor said.
Yeah. No, no, yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to explain
And it
that
gets even
you're in
quicker.
hibernation.
Yeah, and it's even quicker now. Like yeah, that's incredible. Like you're not even gonna like notice it because like that's how quick it already is.
Yep. And then Xbox has taken play out of the book from Sony here, and they're adding their first controller with a speaker built in.
But
And
it's
it's only
limited.
available through sweepstakes, and it's only being released for a celebration for Bad Decisions, which is the song by Benny Blanco, BTS, and Snoop Dogg.
Yep, and apparently it only plays that song like through the speaker on the controller, and I was
Oh,
just
there's
like,
no way.
I
There's
was like,
no way.
that's lit. Like it's not even meant for gaming or anything. Like it's not gonna play any of the gaming sounds through the controller like the PlayStation does. But
Yeah.
it's a collector's item. That's all it is.
But talking about winning a collector's item, you can win a custom Fall Guys Xbox Series S right now
Yeah,
if you go and apply to the sweepstakes.
that looks fucking incredible. Actually, like if anybody has not checked
And
that out yet, go look at it.
yep. And then next up, Microsoft has closed their fiscal year with record-breaking annual revenue. They are the leading market in North America for 3 straight quarters on next-gen consoles. They made 3.45 billion in quarterly sales, to the second best fourth quarter ever, which was 16.22 billion dollars annually.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That is an insane amount of money. It
Yeah,
just goes to show that gaming is huge. It's everyone can game. And gaming is for everyone. So, you know, that's awesome. Then we've got good news coming out of Game Pass. Game Pass is finally adding the family plan. They're testing it currently in 2 countries, Colombia and Ireland. It'll be $25 a month, and it supports up to 5 family members.
yeah, that's pretty
That's
cool. Because we already talked about the rumors a while ago about them potentially adding this, and here it is. It's official now, and I can't wait for it to be added to the United States because I'm definitely probably going to sign up for it. Get a couple of my friends like Roger. I know you pay for Game Pass. Why don't we just team up because that's already saving us money.
Mhm.
Might as
Yeah,
well.
as long as it's Game Pass Ultimate, I was gonna get Jordan a Game
Yeah,
Pass again because it's $25. Boom, there she
yeah.
is.
Might as well.
And then while we're talking about Game Pass, we've got a bunch of new additions as well as a few departures from the store. First, we're going to see Ghost Recon Wildlands. I'm sorry, nobody wants that, but it's available for all systems
But
out now.
this one was interesting because it's another Ubisoft game that they're adding. Like we got Watch Dogs 2 recently, we got
hmm
Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently. So like we're starting to see that connection that they have with Ubisoft that they're bringing their titles. So that's pretty cool.
Even though Ubisoft, we have some news about later,
Yeah.
which is crazy. So next we've got Shenzhen IO out for PC now. We've got Turbo Golf Racing on all platforms out now.
Check that game out. I actually downloaded it. Didn't mention it at the beginning of the
Turbo
stream.
Golf
Yeah,
Racing.
it's basically like Rocket League, but you're playing golf. There's power ups. There's the cars maneuver very similarly to Rocket League, but you're playing golf,
Uh-huh.
and you're just trying to see who can score, like get the hole or the ball in the hole first. And it's like you get
Yeah.
three. It's like 3 races per round or per game or
Sounds
whatever.
like college.
What's that?
It sounds like college.
Right.
Trying to get the ball in the hole first. Next, we've got 2 Point Campus is coming out this week for Game Pass, so you don't need to buy it if you want to give it a try. It comes out Tuesday, day one, on Game Pass for all consoles. That means Xbox and PC. We've also got Cooking Simulator 9, comes out for every console on the 11th. We've got Expeditions Rome, that comes out for PC on the 11th. And then we've got Off-World Trading Company coming to the PC on the 11th as well. Next up, we've got the Departures, which are leaving on Friday. We've got Boyfriend Dungeon, Curse of the Dead Gods, Library of Runa, Star Mancer, and Train Simulator World 2.
The only game that I would recommend checking out before it leaves is probably that Curse of the Dead Gods. I heard it was really good. It got a lot of high reviews, like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, so it's a pretty solid game.
Boyfriend Dungeon?
I mean, Boyfriend Dungeon's where it's at, my friend.
Is
God,
that where it's at?
what are you doing?
Jeez.
Yeah, clearly it's a roguelike that you run around stabbing stuff.
Yeah,
It's
but like I
just
said,
pretty fucking silly looking.
Curse of the Dead Gods though got 9 out of 10 on Steam, 4 out of 5 on GOG, and a 9 out of 10 on IGN. So it's definitely a solid game.
No, it looks pretty good. I was just looking at it here because I've never even seen it, and it looks pretty solid. It looks almost like it kind of plays similarly to Hades and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Looks really good.
Okay, top down. Okay.
yeah.
Next up, we've got the Xbox versus PlayStation news here. The Yakuza franchise was put under the premium and extra tiers for PS Plus, while it's available on every tier for Xbox Game Pass. That feels bad. Like, this is a PlayStation exclusive for years.
Yeah.
And then Yakuza's all of a sudden just like, Xbox, just anything, play it. I know the King Marshmallow in chat here. My man's played almost every Yakuza game he can get his hands on. It's a great series, but like, for them to put it on the higher tiers of PlayStation Plus,
and not the entry level.
this is their like classic catalog. This is one of the games that carried the PlayStation 3, carried the PS4. These are games that people truly, truly loved. Like, there's just.
I want to say probably they're thinking of it as because it's been an exclusive to PlayStation so long, nobody on Xbox has been able to play it. So they made it available for everybody on Xbox. And maybe most people on PlayStation that like the game already have the game.
Could be. It just sucks to see that they put it behind like a premium paywall, more or less, to be able to play
I'm
it.
surprised we even have a premium paywall, but all right.
And like,
yeah, because PlayStation Plus, I don't know if you know, like their new structure, they have like the basic.
I guess I know
there's 3
very much.
levels now, so it's like that was already a fuck up what they did with that, but
Yeah, I didn't like it. But I also wasn't playing PS Now either, so
right.
it makes sense. But they didn't need.
Yeah, I just, I'm actually a recent subscriber on the the PlayStation Network. Like, I went back and got an account just so I could play their catalog, and like, there are things that just aren't on the catalog, and it's like, this feels bad if I don't get the better tier, but I really don't want to spend $200 right up front for the best tier or pay it over a few months. I'm paying almost $300.
I thought it was like 105.
That's for the basic tier. The PlayStation highest tier.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me look.
Let me double check what the full tiers are.
I was about to say basic tier, which is the one I have. You just took $69, $63 out of my account. So.
Yeah, it's $100 for the extra. The premium is $120. I apologize. So it's like $120 a year, and it's like and that gives you 340 additional games, whereas like the normal one's just $99.99. You know, unless you pay monthly, then it's $15 a month.
Yeah, I don't pay monthly. That's
nobody does. Like $18 a month, $15 a month, or $10 a month. Just let me, you're paying half the price to just pay up front for the basic tier.
Right.
It's a no-brainer.
Honestly, Xbox needs to do that with their Game Pass Ultimate. They don't have a yearly subscription to do, and once they do that, then that's what I'm gonna purchase. But right now, it's $15.89 every month.
Oh. I feel for you because you might have needed that extra 15 a month. You should have,
especially with gas prices on the rise.
Yeah, you get a gallon of gas for that one right there.
What else is going on between the two consoles?
Xbox is just draining fucking Sony of all of its stuff. Like we've got three exclusives that were slated for PlayStation.
They
They
already
just
were,
jumped ship.
but yeah, now
They
they're coming
yeah,
back.
but they're going Xbox. We've got The Pathless, Solar Ash, and a Maquette. Like these are games that were supposed to help carry the PlayStation. And now they're going to Xbox again. Everything seems to be leaving and going straight to Xbox now too because it's just it's a no-brainer. Like how are you going to just give up all this fucking money?
Yeah, Xbox is just doing something right. Like they're talking to these developers and publishers and just like, hey, we want to help everybody to be able to play your game. We
Yeah.
want as many people to play your game as possible. Come to ours because we're going to be on every platform possible.
And then next, the last section we have for gaming news, PlayStation. They're retiring. Sony is retiring Accolades, which is a PlayStation 5 launch feature.
That didn't last too long.
I,
Yeah, it was like a rewards based system, kind of similar to Xboxes that they got, where like you complete different challenges throughout the month and you get points that you can transition. And I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I had
PlayStation.
no, I
whatever.
don't have
Yeah,
a PS5. I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. PlayStation was like, yeah, we're just gonna get rid of it
I
for you
wasn't
already.
listening to anything.
Yeah, just some more bad PR for
Alrighty.
PlayStation.
Yeah, it honestly, PlayStation just freaking keeps feeling like it's just fallen by the wayside.
Yeah,
All right, Vic, let's take you to the last topic of the week here, the gaming rumors. What's going on?
we actually got some interesting ones here. We got this first off here. We got a new EA studio from Seattle. It's founded by the Monolith Productions VP and studio head Kevin Stevens, who helped create Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War, and he's working on a potential Black Panther open world single player game that's going to be more of like an origin story um, behind Black Panther. And I'm like, perfect. I would love to see a Black Panther game, especially with the new movie coming out, and then having this new tie-in with the game potentially, and just seeing what they can make here. And I'm really excited. Next up, actually we don't even got to talk about this one really, but Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer review was rumored to be in September. It's already confirmed now, but there was some leaked images and whatnot. So we actually been seeing like some of the menus and the loading screens and some modes that they weren't supposed to be leaked just yet, like the DMZ mode. So most of that stuff's been kind of confirmed at this point. Next up, probably some of the biggest news of the week, honestly, is the GTA 6 rumors per se. Um,
Oh,
Basically, there's going to be two playable leads in GTA 6, and it's going to be one of the first ever female playable characters, and it kind of is going to be influenced by the whole Bonnie and Clyde kind of feel to it. So that'll be pretty cool to see. It's going to be set in like Vice City, basically, aka Miami, and they're going to be adding like new cities and new locations over time. Like the map itself is going to evolve and adapt and change, kind of have that like live service feel to it. Um, and there's also going to be more interior locations than any other GTA game before. So that'll be pretty cool, especially seeing
Honestly,
the RP
that's
servers and
huge.
stuff. And now you're adding more interiors. Like it's basically like the metaverse
now
almost.
I can blow up a laundromat. Awesome.
I'm I'm actually really excited for GTA 6 because it sounds really it sounds really good in my opinion. Like I'm excited to see that they're transitioning to that whole well females play our game too. People want to play as a woman because they're a woman. People want to play as a man because they're a man. Sometimes people want to play the opposite gender in a game. I find it surprising that only male characters were always in GTA, and it's like it felt like it was supposed to be a male-dominated oriented game, and it's like it isn't. That's the thing. Like
Right.
Lady
gaming's for everyone, and I think it
plays a
makes it
lot.
more inviting. And for them to also build the story around that, having two main leads, one male, one female, and the fact that you can play as from either of their perspectives. I hope they get completely separate stories, but they continue to interact and you can play one or the other.
Right, and this actually reminded me of Assassin's Creed Syndicate. If no one's ever played that, go check it out. You play as like a brother and a sister that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah. That was Syndicate.
that you can bounce back and forth in between them. So you kind of get both of their perspectives, and they each have different stories. You can make one of them more of like a stealth character, and the other one's more of like like barbarian, like a very aggressive kind of player. So it was pretty cool to see that. So to see it in GTA, perfect. Especially with all these RP mods, like servers and stuff like that. Like there's males or females that play all the time, and now like people can actually have like a legitimate more of a role in this kind of stuff. Because GTA 6 will be that next evolution of like GTA Online as well.
I really hope it actually does it well though too, because like honestly, if it isn't, it's
Right.
I just hope they don't fuck up the game. That's all I'm saying, dude.
No, yeah, for sure. And to round out our gaming rumors this week, Tencent is reportedly wants to become Ubisoft's biggest shareholder. Tencent's already this biggest gaming giant in the industry, and now they want part of another big company. Roger, what's your thoughts on this?
Dude, I'm scared. I'm honestly scared. What's gonna happen? Because if Tencent owns Ubisoft, like first of all, they might make it better.
It
Because
could
let's
be
be
right.
honest, Ubisoft is it's ending up in the fucking trash most days.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they don't know what they want to do over there. Between all the cancellations and the delays and the games that we are getting are already hot, got like dumpster fires.
yeah,
It needs a
and
shakeup.
are they gonna pull the Ubisoft catalog into its own system again? Because I know they have it. It's just are they gonna now pull it from all the other stores and now you gotta have to have a third subscription to play Ubisoft games? Because fuck that, I ain't gonna play them.
Yeah, facts.
All right.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out for sure. But any last comments or remarks before we close out this week's episode, guys?
No, thanks for joining us today. It was nice to have a third person on for once.
Yeah, I appreciate you being added to this.
Yeah, man, we definitely got to have you back on. It's always good to have our special guests and have them return in the future. The community definitely enjoyed your presence here on the show. This was a great episode here with the chat.
Yeah, and shout out to the chat, guys. Kept us fucking
It's out
entertained,
here
dude.
wilder.
Oh my god, fucking chat can can get us in trouble real quick.
For sure. But we definitely want to give everyone a reminder to catch our co-op stream every Sunday at 12 o'clock. We're right now playing through Diablo 3. We play for about 3 hours, give or take. Some days we might play longer, some days we might cut it short. We'll see how that goes. And then, of course, we got Press Start Podcast live every Sunday at 7 p.m. So come check us out. But Marcus, where can we find you at, man?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram as the Decepticon King. You can find me on Twitter to S2W Inferna. You also catch me on Twitch at Heems Inferna. And yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
And what about you, Roger? Where can we find you at?
You can catch me at lunatic_oblivion on Twitch and lunatic oblivion on Twitter.
There you go. And of course, everyone, you can check me out at Twitter at Mr. Never Chillin _. Xbox is X Never Space Chillin. You want a game party up, hit me up there. Facebook is Vic Brubacher. Question, concerns, you want to come on the show, hit me up on there. But we definitely want to thank everyone again. But until next time, peace.
Peace.